3 overnight stays at the homeless shelter shut down. Where will those in need head to next?
And dryness in the high country raises concerns and restrictions to prevent forest fires.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Kaylee Emery.
And I'm Xavier Rangel. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, a very dry season continues to sweep Flagstaff, causing early signs and dangers of wildfires.
The U.S. Forest Service is taking extreme precautions to prevent forest fire in the high country, starting with Stage 1 restrictions put in place on Friday. NAZ Today reporter Monet Gunn tells us what the expectations are for this fire ban.
Flagstaff is a town bordered by many national forests. Check out what can be found even just a few steps away from this parking lot. Protecting national forests is not just a job for Flagstaff firefighters and Coconino National Forest Services. It's also a job for Flagstaff citizens.
The public is our ally in this. We're all in this together, and it's for the safety and to protect the natural resource. And our number one thing is to provide safe environment for the public and our firefighters.
In order to do their jobs, there has been restrictions put in place. Stage 1 restrictions prohibit any campfires that are outside of developed campgrounds. These are safe because they have fire rings, and if any issue were to occur, people can report it. Stage 1 also restricts smoking unless you're in a building or in an enclosed vehicle. This is nothing new. There is a campfire ban every summer, but the fire season has come in a lot sooner than expected.
Normal time frame would be for fire restrictions, generally around mid-May through the month of June is our critical fire season, and we feel like we're about a month ahead of where we normally are.
This advancement in schedule comes as a result of one of the driest winters on record. U.S. Forest Service hopes to educate the community in effort to prevent human-caused fire. For NAZ Today, I'm Monet Gunn.
The homeless in Flagstaff was able to rely on Flagstaff shelter services, but with a seasonal closure in effect, these people might be in trouble. The homeless in Flagstaff will no longer be able to stay overnight at this shelter, as many move towards the forest to keep warm. This nighttime closing will go into effect due to the lack of funding for this nonprofit shelter. The shelter will continue their daytime assistance, providing services to help residents feel secure while they look for work. Now, these closures are set to take place despite the continued demand for shelters in northern Arizona.
That's right. Interim Executive Director of Flagstaff Shelter Services, Lori Barlow, explains a recent case that has left a 60-year-old woman stranded near Flagstaff.
Last week, we had a woman who was coming from South Carolina to California. She had all of her worldly possessions in her car, and she was out at one of the rest stops down the road, and she was carjacked and brutally beaten, and the guy ripped the keys out of her pants, and took off with her car and everything. They just found her car, found the guy who stole her car in Vegas, and she's just trying to get her identity back and her life back.
A bill signed by Governor Brewer might increase the frequency of inspections at abortion clinics. House Bill 2284 will eliminate the need of a warrant for the Department of Health Services to enter an abortion clinic during business hours.
Now, this only applies if there is reasonable cause to believe that a clinic is in violation of licensing requirements. Additionally, the bill will make it a misdemeanor to help a minor avoid the parental consent requirement before obtaining an abortion. The law will go into effect 90 days after the legislative session, which could happen as early as this week. Planned Parenthood advocates are expecting a legal challenge to this law, saying there needs to be leaders in office that move the state forward, not turn back the clock on women's access to health care.
Well, Cottonwood Police Department responded to a single vehicle rollover accident on Tuesday afternoon. The driver, 33-year-old Christoph Rose, lost control of the vehicle after leaving the Food City parking lot. As a result of this, Rose hit a wire on an electric pole, causing the truck to roll over on its side. No injuries were reported. However, the driver was arrested under suspicion of driving under the influence. Cottonwood officers performed an on-scene breath alcohol test on Rose, which showed a 0.123% blood alcohol content. The investigation remains ongoing.
Coconino County could be entering a money jam in the upcoming months due to the drug trafficking program funded by the Department of Justice. The U.S. Department of Justice is demanding over $1 million to be returned to them.
Now, the payments were given to take on cases initiated by the federal government, which the county allegedly did not follow appropriate guidelines, and is the reason for the DOJ asking for the money to be paid back. Coconino County has offered to repay the DOJ the $70,000 it has received after they found no proof of federal involvement in the cases. There is still no sign which direction this problem will go, whether or not the federal government will accept the offer. But the county is dependent on federal funding and cannot risk alienating them. Coming up on NAZ Today, one immigration issue you might not be aware of.
Plus, the High Country Roundup brings you the latest news in northern Arizona. Stay with us.
I'm student forecaster Brooke Cal. Thanks for joining us. We had quite a few high clouds in there today, but you can see they will start to move their way out of Arizona, but we might see some rain later in the week. I'll tell you more about it coming up.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Welcome back. As you may know, April marks a month-long awareness for immigration nationwide.
That's right. And NAZ Today's Sierra Ferguson sat down in studio earlier today for a report under the surface of border security issues that are often overlooked.
One border security measure has cost and is still costing taxpayers $4.5 million a mile to construct. The 600-mile-long wall that separates the United States from Mexico aims to secure our borders. But is that all that it's doing? Earlier this week, I spoke with Dan Millis of the Sierra Club, who recently presented a talk entitled Wild versus Wall. Dan joined me in the studio and talked a little bit more about the residual impacts of border security and the physical barriers that are involved. Immigration Awareness Month is upon us, and so immigration issues are kind of at the forefront of people's minds. But one issue related to border security that a lot of people forget is the environmental impact. So could you tell us about some of those?
Sure. Well, the Sierra Club is mostly interested in the border wall and the negative environmental impacts that come from the border wall, and also the waiver of law. So many laws don't count on the border anymore, and they've been sort of brushed aside so that the border wall could be built very quickly.
What are some of the environmental impacts of the wall?
Mostly the problems that come from the wall are wildlife habitat being destroyed or fragmented, sort of being chopped up in two by this new barrier that's been built. Also, wildlife migration corridors are blocked. So wildlife that used to migrate through a certain area now either has to find somewhere else to migrate or is just out of luck. And that could be really dangerous for that species in terms of their survival. And then another big issue that we have is flooding. There's been a lot of flooding problems that have occurred in areas that are wild areas like Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument here in Arizona, but also in urban areas like Nogales, Arizona, Nogales, Sonora, where there's a wall right between the two cities.
And you mentioned that some laws have been sort of waived or passed over in order to build the wall. Can you tell us about those?
In 2005, the Bush administration waived what they did is they passed the Real ID Act, and that allowed them to waive a total of 37 federal protection laws. So these are laws like the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, as well as laws that protect other things that you wouldn't think of, such as the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, and there's a few more like the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. So everything from religious freedom to endangered species, those protections that we count on as Americans are no longer in effect on the border. And that has led to a lot of these problems with flooding and environmental destruction and the destruction of sacred sites or historic sites. And even right now, as we speak, this border wall, it's built up to more than 650 miles so far, and there are still areas that are under construction, including a historic site in El Paso right now.
Well, Dan gave a talk about the environmental issues surrounding border security last night at the HLC. If you would like more information about this topic, you can visit our website, naztoday.com.
The reporters of Northern Arizona communicate the local, state, and regional news to you, letting you know the most current events happening in the Northern Arizona community.
That's right, and tonight, NAZ Today's Kaylee George gathered news from the sources who communicate these happenings for this week's High Country Roundup.
This week's journey around the high country starts with Sedona Footsteps, hoping to create change in the world. The Sedona community was united on Saturday to raise awareness about human trafficking with a 4-mile march, according to Red Rock News. The Kingman Daily Miner reports that the welding program at Mojave Community College earned a new certification, which makes it the only Arizona testing facility that is accredited. Now heading over to Prescott en route, the Little League baseball field experienced a renovation, says the Daily Courier. The countdown for new dugouts, new fence work, an irrigation system, an infield, and a new pitcher's mound began 2 weeks ago, and the wait is now over. These brand new services will be enjoyed by many ball players thanks to the Diamondbacks Foundation, who funded the makeover as part of its grant program. Last week, some of you in Williams might have seen Peter Cottontail hopping around the town, handing out treats to spread the word about Williams Easter Egg Extravaganza on Saturday. A day filled with egg hunts, games, prizes, food, and the Easter Bunny himself will be at the 6th annual event on April 19th. According to the Payson Roundup, hundreds of residents showed up at the Arizona Corporation Commission meeting to complain about proposed water rate hikes. The Payson Water Company serves 8 rim country communities, and all would be affected by this increase. The rate has not gone up since 2000, but now residents face an increase of about 50 to 138%. The attendees at the meeting declared their outrage regarding this issue at the 3-hour hearing and hope that this will sway the commissioner's decision. This wraps up your High Country Roundup for the week. Reporting for NAZ Today, I'm Kaylee George.
Warm spring weather spread across northern Arizona today, but will it continue? Student forecaster Brooke Cowell tells us what you can expect coming up.
And the NAU football team is getting ready for another season. We have more with sports coming up.
Kinds of TV services. The phone company wasn't cutting it, so I cut down. Spotty satellite? Nah, that dish wasn't appetizing. But the all-new Suddenlink? It comes with free HD and a picture so sharp it makes real life look lame. Now I have up to 300 channel choices, earloads of digital music, 10,000 on-demand titles, and new TiVo Stream that turns my tablet into a TV and lets my DVR take road trips. I've seen the future of TV, and the future is easy.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Then, we went on Thunder Shark 3 times.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
Welcome back. Another beautiful day for us here in northern Arizona and all the way across the state. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it right now. It reached 68 at the Grand Canyon, 91 all the way down there in Phoenix, and 77 in Kingman. But keeping with this high trend, we reached 66 degrees today in Flagstaff. That is 8 degrees above the normal temperature. Not quite record-breaking temps, although I wish it was that hot. It would be nice to soak up a little bit of sun before the rain starts coming, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. But we did reach 26 degrees this morning, just around the normal temperatures, as we can see here. 13 degrees is our record temps, not there. Thank the Lord. I don't want to be that cold at night anymore. Now, moving on, I'm going to show you this satellite that we've had these clouds for the past few days that have been hovering over Arizona. You can see they will start to move out of Arizona, out of northern Arizona, and into Colorado. It turns into a huge storm here in Colorado, so if you are traveling, I would be advised, stay safe, don't go too fast, stay off the roads for the weekend maybe. But so clear skies for us here tomorrow. As you can see, there is this storm. You can slightly see it on this map. This is the thing you want to worry about. It will reach us down here in northern Arizona. It will get to us on Friday where we will see some rain showers. But continuing on to this warm weather trend that we have here in Arizona, it will continue to stay warm all throughout tomorrow. Those clouds will start to decrease throughout the morning. No more clouds tomorrow. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day. But you can see the storm a little bit better up here as I had it right here. This is the storm coming in from the Pacific Ocean. It will reach its way down to Arizona on Friday. But for your current temperatures right now, 64 degrees, pretty fair outside, only 9 miles per hour winds, about 4 miles per hour less than we had yesterday. And for your tonight, it will be 27 degrees as those clouds will start to go away and make it beautiful for us in the morning and tomorrow as we reach 68 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, as I said earlier, with those clouds pretty much going away until we get to Friday when you will start to see those clouds again. For your statewide temperatures, we have 68 in Flagstaff, 84 in Kingman, 77 down in Prescott, 93 down there in Phoenix. It's going to be a beautiful weekend down there, 70 in Cholo, and 27 here at nighttime. For your 5-day forecast, it will be a little bit warmer for us tomorrow, 68. Before that rain shower starts coming in on Friday, I'm not expecting it to go out through a Saturday as it won't be that big of a storm, but we might get a few flurries early in the morning before we start to get a little more warm temperatures throughout next week. And for you down in Sedona, warm temperature for you tomorrow, 81 degrees. You will get some showers down there as well, though, so maybe get those raincoats back out. Nothing Saturday morning for you guys, I don't think. Sunday and Monday, you'll get back in those high temperatures.
Well, I guess we can say that we're happy that we're not going to see any snow anymore. I mean, the rain, kind of bad, but at least not snow, right?
Yeah, no snow in the forecast.
That's great.
Well, those Monday temperatures for next week definitely are looking warm. And with these warm temperatures, it is baseball season for high school.
Exactly. It's perfect weather for baseball season. I'll tell you all about some games when we get back.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires. kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Lumberjack football has been on the grind for the last month, preparing for their spring football game debut in 2 weeks. The NU defense lost 9 starting seniors, and of course, the big question on the offense is who will replace star running back Zach Bowman. Senior quarterback Chase Cartwright says the Jacks are making the right adjustments.
We got 2 guys that are really the front runners for the running back spot. We have a true junior in Casey Yon, who's played a lot of football in the last couple of years as Zach's backup, and we also have a redshirt freshman in Corbin Jounty, who's a very physical, tough runner and fits our style of play. So we're really excited about, just playing our offense and continuing to build on the success we've had the last 2 years.
Over on the court, according to CBS sports reporter Jeff Bobzello, NEU's men's basketball player Travis Meeker will be transferring. The tweet was made 2 days ago, and as of now, no report by NU Athletics will confirm or deny Borzello's tweet and Meeker's status. Meeker is a freshman guard from Mesa, Arizona, and did not start last season. Basketball season may be over for the Jacks, but the recruitment process is ongoing. Coach Jack Murphy and junior guard Quentin Upshur say the process is rewarding for everyone.
Yonku's going to be lower, right? So you can maybe take a dribble in here, and then you got Yonku, and then we have that.
I actually enjoy the recruiting for NAU because, a lot of kids that we're recruiting, especially if they're not from California, Arizona, they've never heard of Northern Arizona. So when they get out here, they're really amazed. So you're really selling a beautiful area, beautiful campus, great school. And if you can get them on campus, chances are we're going to have a great shot at having them come here for their career.
It's just like a lot of extra work, just going to work out, just determination to get better every day, because if you're not working out, somebody else might be out there working out, and it's a lot of people playing for maybe 1 or 2 scholarships, all the kids around the world playing for scholarships, and you don't want to take no day off,
You're trying to find the best fits for your program, both athletically and socially and academically, so you're looking for kids that can make it academically at NAU, be successful.
A lot of kids back home, the grades are an issue, they have different circumstances at home and things like that, and a lot of kids lose track of what's really important, and my mom just kept instilling in me you need to get your grades, you need to get your grades, and I think the fact that I had good grades was one of the main reasons I stuck out, because you're a student athlete, if you don't have good grades you can't play, so I think it's very important that you have good grades while being an athlete. And then at the end of the day, you're here to get a degree. You know what I'm saying? You're here to play sports, but you're still here to get a degree.
And also be good fits with the team character-wise. Kids that carry themselves well off the court and then on the court are tough and tenacious and want to win and work hard.
And I just really take a day off. I just kept working hard, working at it, just so I can be good and so I can get a scholarship to play somewhere for free.
NU Track and Field has earned another Big Sky Track and Field Athlete of the Week award, this time to freshman Ashley Taylor from Ontario, Canada. Taylor took 4th in the premier women's 400-meter hurdles at the Sun Angel Track Classic. She set a new NAU school record as a freshman, completing the event in 58.83 seconds. Taylor ranks 1st in the 400-meter hurdles in the Big Sky Conference. Out on the diamond, the Coconino Panthers baseball team traveled to Boulder Creek High School earlier today. The Panthers are 6-1 on the road, while the Jaguars are 9-12 at home. Coconino's .388 batting average, .471 on-base percentage, and win-loss percentages are higher than the Jaguars. The Flagstaff Eagles baseball team traveled to Bradshaw Mountain High School earlier today. The Eagles and Bears are neck and neck. Flagstaff is 5-2 on the road, while Bradshaw Mountain has lost only 1 game at home with a 5-1 record. The Eagles' on-base percentage is .453, while the Bears average .429. Batting averages and fielding percentages are within .30 of each other. The Northland Prep Academy Spartans are on the road in Williams, Arizona, facing the Vikings today. The Spartans have an even 3-3 record on the road, while the Vikings are undefeated at home. Statistically, NPA has a higher batting average and on-base percentage. The Vikings lead in slugging. Today, the number 6 Vikings beat number 20 Spartans 8-4. And the Arizona Diamondbacks played host to the New York Mets. Let's jump right into that game now and start talking about what went down. Top of the second, Anthony Recker hits a solo bomb over Mark Trumbo over there in left field. It's out of here, 1-0 New York. Bottom of the fourth, 2 outs. Mets up by 2 and ball. Goldschmidt at the plate flies out to left to end the inning. It's a perfect 4 innings for Dylan G on the mound so far. Top of the 6th, G at the plate breaks his bat. Goldie can't field clearly, and a runner goes home. It's the anthem of this game. The New York Mets shout out the Arizona Diamondbacks 9-0. Rough night for the Diamondbacks, I'm telling you. It's been a rough season overall, but that game was just like a stinger.
Yeah, I think the D-backs might have a bit of a tough season this year.
We'll see. Hopefully things can turn around, right?
Gotta love baseball. Well, we will be right back with more in just a second.
Where do you want me to look? Like, do you want me to look at the camera or off?
Why did I choose Northern Arizona University?
What's the question? Why NAU?
Lots of reasons.
I have to choose just one?
Those apply. I chose NAU because of the small class size. My professors know me.
They treat me like a person.
Just one thing. I came to NAU for the culture. There's so much to do.
NAU's affordable.
I know what my tuition will be for the next 4 years. I chose NAU because it's close to home, but not too close.
I can't choose. It has everything.
At Northern Arizona University, finding your way is a principle we believe in.
Sweet. All right. We're done.
Go Jacks.
All right, here's a little weather recap for you. Thursday, it's going to be beautiful tomorrow, 68 degrees before those showers come in for you on Friday. They should be gone by Saturday morning before we hit beautiful weather again next week. For you down there in Sedona, another beautiful day for you tomorrow, 81 degrees before you guys get your showers as well on Friday. You won't get any on Saturday, though, so don't worry about that before you reach up higher into higher degrees later on next week as well.
It's going to look like nice weather for the rest of the week.
Especially for Easter Sunday, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But be careful on those roads. There are storms kind of all throughout the U.S. right now, so we got to be a little bit careful if we're traveling.
That's good to know. I'm actually going to New Mexico, so I can prepare for that drive.
You know, I'm wondering, too, if that rain is going to affect the Coconino baseball team because they're supposed to play tomorrow, or on Friday.
Yeah.
Weather's going to throw everybody off.
See.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and if you missed anything, go to naztoday.com.